To Kenya's neighbor, Uganda. President Yoweri Museveni, who has been in power for nearly 4 decades, stood side by side with his wife to publicly apologize to citizens. But why now? And what does it really mean? Now, the Musevenis spoke at a national evangelical convention and organized by their daughter, Pastor Patience Rubawogo. And in front of crowds, the President and the First Lady together delivered what is being called a prayer of repentance. And this is what they had to say. We acknowledge that we're human. We have made mistakes in one way or another. Forgive us, O Lord. Now, the couple said that they take full responsibility for government failures, from negligence to corruption, and even the alienation of citizens. But this wasn't just a general apology. There was a clear target audience, the Buganda region. Now, Buganda is one of Uganda's most influential political and cultural areas. It's a region that has been growing colder toward the president in recent years. The First Lady acknowledged that the government had sidelined grassroots supporters in Buganda, and she said that there has been marked negligence and lack of diligence. Now, many grassroots supporters have become angry and often feel neglected or forgotten. So why the change of tone? Uganda does go to the polls next year, and many see this public apology as a strategic move, not a spiritual one. For the uninitiated, Museveni has ruled since 1986. That's almost 40 years of rule.
Apologized to the country's Gen Zs, asking for their forgiveness for any misstep he may have taken in dealing with them. Speaking during this year's annual National Prayer Breakfast, the head of state also extended his apology to neighboring Tanzania, following days of a strained relation sparked by Kenyan activists who descended on Dar es Salaam. As Emmanuel Toh now tells us in the following report, the conciliatory tone comes against the backdrop of a fiery summon by US-based keynote speaker Ricky Bolden.
The 22nd National Prayer Breakfast under the theme Rising and Rebuilding set the stage for a rare public forum where many, including President William Ruto, apologized to the Gen Zs as the summon by the keynote speaker Ricky Bolden pierced through the country's top leadership who sat listening.
Because no one's ever apologized.
Ricky, a US-based motivational speaker and former American professional football player, challenging the leadership to apologize to the youthful population.
No one's ever said, I'm sorry for the horrific pain that you experienced. If leaders would stand up and say to our Gen Zs, we had you arrested. And we know that had to be traumatizing. And we're sorry.
The preacher who made a case for the Gen
Now we want to bring you to the table so that you can have a voice, because you're no longer a child. You're an adult. And we want to begin to say, how do we begin to treat you like an adult?
President William Ruto taking cue from the sermon, hitting the conciliatory note.
To our children, if there is any misstep, we apologize. Our neighbors from Tanzania, if we have wronged you in any way, forgive us. Our friends from Uganda, if there is anything that Kenyans have done that's not right, we want to apologize.
We respectfully request our children also to respect authority. They should equally respect older people, even if not for any other reason, simply because they are older, because there are things that you will not learn in any college. You will only learn them in the school of life.
The government has had strained relations with the youth.
We want you to listen to us because we are older. Nothing about corruption, nothing about mismanagement, nothing about abuse. Nothing about the evil of stealing every penny that these Kenyans have worked for. Our African brothers now. He wants respect. Now, this is one of the subjects I wanted to deal with earlier on my video. Instead, I've made a U-turn and talked about something else, the war, and how it's connected to Africa, and why after 3 years they want to end it. And I told you it probably going to, told you it would end in 3 years, but they can't end it because they realize that Russia and China is too far in Africa, and Africa is beginning to come out, especially with the Sahel nation. You guys don't realize how much angst this is causing in the West. You don't realize how fearful the old men like this and Rudo that's been running Africa. The worst one is Tinubu in Nigeria. Anyway, we gotta go on to another fella from, well, I shouldn't say fella, another younger brother, because these two are Uganda, I mean, jeez. Museveni, Mr. Vinny, my dear brother, give back what you have borrowed. I'm going to use the word borrow because forgiveness is still available. But in a short time, there will be no forgiveness. There is another standard in Africa, and you will be held accountable to that standard, not the Caucasian European standard that you've been living by. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? If you, anyone who can talk to you listening to this video, I am just asking you. Today I'm asking. Today, forgiveness is still available. Nevertheless, let's move on.
Of Burkina Faso are seen defending their country and protecting their citizens. A disturbing video has surfaced online showing Nigerian soldiers allegedly firing live rounds at unarmed women protesting the destruction of their farmlands by suspected Fulani herders. These women, desperate and frustrated, took to the streets to demand protection. Instead of support, they were met with violence.
Make them go. Give them order, make them go back. Guys, if they touch this thing now, put the stomach there. smoke for them. Smoke that side. Smoke this side where they no one go. Smoke that side. Come. This is, very good. This place right there. No, Abba.
I hope you see the evil that is Africa's leaders. This is Nigeria now. Tinubu. They cannot capture the terrorists that are terrorizing Nigerian women in the villages. Boko Haram, they say they can't catch. And they don't catch the terrorists now. But here they are killing Nigerians who are protesting about the terrorists, protesting about the same terrorists. The army cannot protect them from the terrorists, but it's destroying them. Keep telling you that African armies are not made, are not there to fight to protect Africa. They are there to kill Africans. These people are worse than the Africans in South Africa. They are in the class of the Zionists of Israel.
Making speech. Let me paint the scene for you, loud and clear. President Duma Boko of Botswana just unleashed a fierce, no-holds-barred
You heard him. You heard it for yourself now. This is what I was planning on dealing with today. Oh no. You see why I wanted to deal with this. They are shaking up the old men. They are shaking up the old men and the old men all over Africa. Now you see, people might say, well, it's political in Uganda. Yes, it's partly political, but they can see the writing on the wall. And from what I've been hearing, they are shaking in their boots. Him and all the other old men around Africa. And the funny thing is that the people that they're following are saying, look, well, if these countries can do it, why haven't we been able to do it? Same question that the president of Botswana, you just heard him. Why aren't we able to do it? You've been sitting in this position. We educated you. Why haven't you fixed the system? Well,
benefits, as somebody said yesterday, not to polarize the conversation, the North and the South. It will definitely, if it's structured properly, benefit the North, the South, and that's not the debate we must be engaging in, but mutuality for greater good, for a safe world, for a world that we can pass on to the next generation in a responsible manner.
Continent, a wave of bold defiance is rising, challenging centuries.
Putting it together and targeting it. Let me also indicate here one of the lessons of our debt restructuring that is applicable to poverty reduction, to climate change, is the issue around speed at which we do things. G20 framework, when we took office 21 months ago, this discussion was already in train. Now we've been in office 21 months. Yes, we're very pleased that it happened yesterday. But for the countries that are coming after us, there's need to expedite the processes. Just that. Whether it's, if you like, energy transition, as Senegal is involved in that, we must just be conscious of time. Every day we don't deliver these things that are within our control, we are basically increasing the cost and the damage gets compounded.
As reactions continue,
the change has to come. Granted, it's just beginning, but it's beginning nevertheless. We are a little bit late, and they better speed it up. The first 3-year period is finished. The second 3-year period has already begun. And time is critical. Because if these people believe they can win a war against Russia and China, they're going to war. And winning the war doesn't mean that they beat Russia and China. It means that when the war ends, that they can restart and be ahead of everybody else. Yes, they might be 50 people in America, but America's still ahead. And if it's got the atomic bomb that can threaten everybody else with, guess what? So you guys got to look at this carefully. The governments of Africa have to look at this thing carefully and seriously. The old men are waiting for things to return to what they think was normal of yesterday. This fake apologies is just that. Playing for time. I hope you're listening carefully. Those of you in the diaspora, the shifting sands. When the shams move from one area to another, guess what? It just came from the area that was just buried. And it's moving to the area that is about to bury. Are you going to be in that area? Have a great day wherever you are. Peace.